Okay, day 2. 2 seconds later. That was a long video, and that was because of the story I told you, and I'm going to try and keep these shorter. So today we're talking about what we hold on to. Now, we know we hold on to past experiences, we relive them, the emotions that we feel, judgments, grudges, hurt, betrayal, all these things we can't let go of. We hold on to them because they hurt so much. It's so ironic. It's so ironic. They're the worst things ever, and we hold on to them because we... Do I explain that here? Not really. So we're going to go into that another time. But we hold on to them, and we bring them back up. And there's a whole section, I can't remember what lecture of Singer's it is. It's in the Untethered Soul lecture series, but I think he talks about how, like, you know, you wouldn't go to a restaurant, get food poisoning from the food, bring the food home, and then eat it every once in a while. You wouldn't smell something really, really bad, put it in a jar, and occasionally open it back up and smell it just to, oh my God, yeah, that smelled bad. Yeah, I got to remember how bad that smells. No, you wouldn't do that. But you do that with feelings and thoughts and experiences and all this stuff that makes life less pleasant. And the key here is they are not happening anymore. We talked a little bit about this last video. They're not happening right now. So why are you still there? I will explain it to you soon. But it does not serve anything for you to hold on to these things. And sometimes you'll be just walking down the street. I know, okay, so I'll give you an example. I will have lived with, like, I'll have a boyfriend and we lived together and it was great. We broke up. You go past the house again and you're just reliving it, right? Michael Singer's example is you don't like rattlesnakes. You see a rope and you think it's a rattlesnake, and now you're afraid of ropes. So you transfer these feelings onto things that have nothing to do with the actual event, trigger, whatever it is. And it just builds up. All it does is make you feel bad. And what are we doing that for? Why are we doing this? Are we doing it because it's an experience that we can examine and learn a lesson from? Is it something, a cautionary thing where you have to remember this because later on you have to remember to avoid it? I can tell you it's neither one of those things. You think about it, the thing happens, you think about it, you learn the lesson, you leave it alone. Once you've learned the lesson, there's no reason for you to keep it. And another, like, I got Michael Singer is just, as far as keeping it so you remember not to do it again. The analogy there is you turn on the stove, you burn yourself on the stove. Ouch. You deal what you have to do. You're not going to touch that stove again. And you don't have to remember, oh yeah, that burn really hurt. Oh, don't do that. I mean, maybe sometimes you do, but but you don't have to remember it because you will not touch that hot stove again. You know hot hurts. Done. Although I know that in that case, like, there have been situations where something like that, I'd be turning the stove on, remembering, like, oh, that hurt. Why? There is no reason other than to torture yourself. So, much shorter video this time. We discussed last time that the solution here is to let go. This is the problem. This is the root. It causes these problems. And the solution is to let go. I hope you enjoyed this. This one's short and not as much information. But I just want you to remember that there's no reason to hold on to these things. They're not happening. They're not happening right now. Even if it's the worst thing ever, there are things that have happened to me. There are things that have happened to you. There are things that have happened to people that are much, much worse than the things that have happened to me. They're not happening still. You're giving your power away by allowing them to hurt you. But don't blame yourself for that. Never judge yourself for this stuff. So, that being that, I'm going to say that even if you're holding on to some shit and you're done learning from it, but it's still there and it keeps coming up, you can always choose to have a grateful day.